In front of me here I have a 4-way guy wire hook. I'm just going to tilt it up here, and you can see it's basically made up of 4 component parts, each held together with these series of nuts and bolts. Now the only tool that you're going to need for putting this onto a pole will be a 13mm spanner, or socket. So here you can see in the inside shape it's basically a hexagonal thing, and that's to maximize the grip it's going to have on a circular pole. Now the pole range this one can be used with is between 50 and 80 millimeters, okay? So depending on whether the bolts are fully extended or fully contracted, that's the range. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just give an overview of how we'd fit this. Now what would we use this in conjunction with? Well, guide wires are used in conjunction with high poles where we want to stabilize them. So what we'll do is we'll fit this type of a clamp onto the pole and run guide wires, such as the wire that we're showing here, directly from there down to an anchor point. And the idea is to stabilize the pole. So the traditional uses of it would have been for high aerials in the past, for picking up the BBCs and the ITVs. Now the advent of satellites sort of minimised that market, but it's still very popular, sometimes for that reason, but also for things like wind turbines, etc. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just demonstrate quickly here. Now unfortunately this pole here is not going to give a great example because this is only an 1.25" pole, and it needs to be at least 2 inches if it's to tighten this in. But you can see the basic idea. We'd slide this over a pole, we have the hooks pointing upwards like this, and what we do is we get our spanner or socket here and we tighten it in until it clamps tightly. Now we can normally, would say on a medium-sized pole that's been supported by guy wires, what we'll do is we'll have this close to the top. But if we had a very high pole, we might actually have a series of guy wires clamps down along the pole at different places to maximise the level of stability. So just imagine I've tightened this in here now, and what we're going to move on to then is how would we actually run the guy wire down from there? Well, it is possible to say to attach the guy wire directly on, but a much better idea is to use something like this tensioner here. And how this would work is it would simply slot over. We'd have the tensioner when we're putting it on fully extended out, and we'd wrap a guy wire repeatedly around this and run it down to an anchor point, which will either be on a wall or directly into the ground, and we'd use something like this eye bolt here that would do the clamping on it. So, you know, the full kit, the full range of things that is available on the tvtrade.ie website, and it's a popular product for that specific need. The guy wire rolls themselves are available in sort of 50 and 150 meter rolls. So that's it, an overview of the 4-way guy wire hook available on tvtrade.ie.